Hey, welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. It's Carrie. I'm gonna be playing a MASH book edition again. I did it last year. And I've read more books since then. I may use the same I may use the same characters and settings and things like that. But I'll try to make some of them different. And in case you don't know, we all played MASH in school, but I never have. I literally played it for the first time last year, and I thought, I'm going to try it again because it's actually fun. It was created by Jessethereader, and his video's down there in the description. So let's get to it. Before I start, I forgot to say that um, the way that this is a book edition is that to think of, where you'll live, what your job, who you'll marry, all that stuff will be based on what you've read in books, and that's why it's the MASH book version. And this is the way I'm doing it is MASH book edition part 2. So yeah, now we'll start. Okay, so I'm gonna choose where I want to live. Uh, when you do this, you want to think of 3 good possibilities and throw in a bad one, which is what you kind of don't want to end up with. So for my bad one, I'm gonna say England, because I've read stories that take place in England. I'm gonna say New York. Some of these might be the same. Okay, I'll also consider Los Angeles. And oh, what was that city? Somewhere, maybe North Carolina. Now I pick out what my job will be. Again, these may be some of the same answers. Author, which I could be in reality. Uh, I'm gonna consider some nonfiction books because they're still books, which I said last year. I'm gonna say chef because a cookbook is still a book. A department store clerk, which actually doesn't sound bad. I'll also consider another nonfiction book and say a social media correspondent. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna write who I'd want to marry. Ronnie from the last song. Olivia from 7 Days and 7 Nights. Oh, I have to be careful about this because there's uh maybe Violet from All the Bright Places, and I want to put in one I don't want to marry. Um, Min from Mosquitoland. But some of my books are right there off screen. Now I'll pick the number of kids, which I'll have, and you can just think of any numbers. And I'm gonna go for a big. One of my choices will be a big family, so I'll say 2, maybe 4, 3, and 8, because I do have a big family on one side of my family. Pets. Now this is where you kind of think of fantasy creatures and things, which I haven't really read a lot of. But I know I've read a book with a cat in it. Oh, I'm gonna throw in some random ones in there. Dog, parakeet. Really, I'm just thinking of generic pets, although I do remember a book reading where a character had a cat, which wasn't essential to the story, but was often brought up. And one I wouldn't want is a cat because I have allergies. Is the parakeet? I don't think I'd want the parakeet, so I have to have another pet I'd be fine with living with other than a dog. But really, a dog is the only. Yeah, I'm gonna say hamster. Now I'll think of who my best friend will be, which wasn't in Jessethereader's version. Someone else added it in, but I don't exactly know who that was. Um, but anyway, this should also be easy. I'm gonna say Scott. Um, I I have a historical fiction book called West of Sunset, and it's fiction, but F. Scott Fitzgerald is the character. So I'm going to say F. Scott Fitzgerald. So that's technically two Scotts. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about that book someday. Um, Judd, and someone I wouldn't want because it would have been nice to have F. Scott Fitzgerald as a best friend before he started drinking. Someone I wouldn't want as a best friend would be Ryan Dean West. Oh my god, Ryan Dean. Yeah. I was looking at the book Winger, which is off screen, by the way. Okay, now I'll think of my transportation. So I'll say car. I think I've read a book where a limo was in this story, I'm sure. So I'll say limo. Uh, I could also say carriage. I think maybe they drove carriages in um, a Jane Austen book and a pickup truck, which is the bad one. Okay, oop, now I'm gonna draw a spiral and count the rings. Oh, you have to do it with your eyes closed. Okay, all right. 4 is my spiral number. Okay. Okay, I won't be an author. I kind of hope I get the social media correspondent though. Oh, either I could have 2 or 8 kids. I hope I get the latter. Oh, F. Scott Fitzgerald isn't gonna be my best friend, but there's 2 other choices I'd like. Okay, so I won't drive the pickup truck. Oh no, I'm not gonna be a social media correspondent. Oh, and my chef was the bad one, or it's either chef or department store clerks. I hope I get the latter. Ow, I'm not gonna have 8 kids. Last time I did this, I had 8 kids. Ugh. Okay, okay. Um, a little tense. This is gonna be tense. Oh, thank God. Ryan Dean isn't gonna be my best friend. I got Scott. Not Scott Fitzgerald, it's another Scott. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, okay. I, I'll be living in a mansion in either New York or Los Angeles, so it works out well. Oh, shit. I'm sorry for the swearing, by the way. Oh. Be driving a carriage. Oh my goodness. Okay. God damn it. Okay. Okay. I'm so with this. I'll be living in New York, which is what I got last time. I'll be a chef. I'll marry Mim, who I have to get back on her. She wasn't bad. She wasn't a bad character. I liked her, but I wouldn't want to marry her compared to the other girls I wrote. We'll have 2 kids. We'll have a dog as a pet. My best friend will be Scott, but it won't be Scott Fitzgerald. It'll be another Scott. We'll be driving a carriage, which is what I got last time too. I got a mansion. I'll be living in a mansion. Yeah, so that the ones I got that were the same last year was that I mean, I know I can't compare this to last year, but last year I got that I was living in New York in a mansion, and a carriage was our mode of transportation. Um, oh, I really feel like doing this again. Well, I know it's not actually going to come true, but it was still fun to do. So, yeah, that was that. Jesse the Reader's videos down there in the description, and I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.